the perception, or even in reality in the rule, that the Sabah Sarawak is just one of the 14 states. And therefore they treated us as one of the states. Secondly, I think our leaders themselves have not risen and took hold of that rights in the first place. For whatever reason, I don't know. So our leaders, the local leaders, our people, has to be blamed as well, not holding on to that rights, enforcing that rights, invoking that rights. I mean, rights can be just right in the statute book if you don't take it up and enforce it, even today. Now, getting into a few issues. One, religion. Okay, this is the issue that today that we're talking about as well. The issue of Allah, for example. Okay, now referring to Sarawak, even prior to the formation of Malaysia, there were great concern for many of people in Sarawak, in particular our people from Lawas, and there is a one paragraph on it. The Burts of Sarawak, 5,000 of them there. Of course, they were saying, look, if we are under, they knew then that Article 3 is very clear of the religion of the Federation is Islam. Yeah. Then the rest is up. At the community level, of course, Tunku said, okay, that's fine. We guarantee the freedom of other faith will be joined in Malaysia. And of course, they were having that fear and anxious of this whole thing. And that's why today Sarawak has no official religion. And Sabah is with it, that's right. And that's it, the status of it. But today, the issue of Allah comes in. And you know that for example, our people have been using this, the Ibadah have been using the word Allah, and the other, perhaps in the state of Sarawak, have been using it prior to 1963. So I don't even argue on the other aspect of the term. On the fact of the agreement, the formation of Malaysia alone, there had been a breach by the federal government on this issue. It's very clear. And that had caused a ripple and this unity throughout the grounds of Sarawak. And therefore, that itself, I think we have to come up and say, look, this had been agreed upon, respect and recognition of that freedom even before the formation of Sarawak, where immigration had been one of the issues that will be given power to the state of Sarawak. Yes, I agree with my friend here that we're much better than Sabah. Yeah, because we have not let go of our rights to immigration until we go volunteer. But the problem is that we can abuse that power. Abuse it, therefore, a lot of activists, NGOs have been barred from entering Sarawak. I have a few friends who have been helping the natives with the rights, with the environment, who have been banned and barred to enter the state of Sarawak, including some politicians from the opposition parties. And there were not. And in fact, there is very clear provision in the Immigration Act where if you come here for a legal, valid political activities, you can. But I think they said then was they were trying to prevent West Malaysia to come here and exploit our people here who are not very advanced in their business, advanced in their enterprise, etc., etc. But today that had been abused. And I think that's the problem side of that point. Citizenship, I think is very clear. And I think this is where a big issue, failure to address this issue. I agree with my friend Dr. Jeffrey as well. It's also a problem in Sarawak. In my area, for example, at those villages along the Kalimantan border. And because these people had been staying in the interior, of course, when Malaysia was formed, nobody knows they had been there for many years. And today, they have a problem of reporting their birth or their being present even in 1963, the formation of Malaysia. And to this day, they have no birth certificate, they have no ICs, you know. And it goes on and on when your parents have no IC in the first place, no birth certificate in the first place, the anak also comes in and there is no registration. The distance from the villages to the nearest district office may take 1-2 days, you know. And this has been ongoing. And you know, Sarawak is as big as with Malaysia. And that's a big problem. So until today, there are still students, they're still young people in school, no IC. And I know for personally, my senior in Tanjung and my classmate, brothers and sisters, brilliant people, intelligent people, they passed through, but they couldn't go to university. Why? No IC. And it's still ongoing today. If you go to Antu areas and all those Baklalang and Barrio areas, this is a big issue in that area. So now, on the other hand, of course, we hear that in Sabah, the illegal immigrants are more than locals. And I tell you, the fear that I have is that this one would just sneak through to Sarawak. It's so simple. So porous border, Sabah, Sarawak, and Kalimantan. And we have to be careful that we will not fall into the same category as Sabah. Special person of the indigenous races, of course, this has been put out, and it was supposed, it has been guaranteed. The indigenous people means the native of Sarawak, of course, excluding the Eurasian, the Indians, and the Chinese. The rest are considered as natives. And it ranges from various areas, like, it talks about scholarship, civil service, it talks about education, and it talks about native rights. And it talks about, that's native rights of the land, that is my area. I can share with you 1 to 2 hours, but I'm not going to do that, because in fact, it's so clear under Article 161A of the Federal Constitution, okay, there is a positive discrimination, in fact, where it allows Sabah state government to pass laws to protect the natives' rights over land. It is such a thing, But today, if you look at the land code is not protecting the rights. In fact, there is a provision where it can even take the rights of the natives over the land, which is their blood and wealth, as Charles Brooks says it, their daging darah, And there is a provision for that. And they can take it just like that, even without informing them, just gazette it in the newspaper, and that's it. And I believe that the federal government can come into this arena, into this whole scheme, to impose upon the state and impress upon the state, look, you are supposed to protect the indigenous rights of people because you are to be a trustee to the Malaysian agreement and you are partners to the whole thing. And don't just say, oh, land is under the state provision, under the state jurisdiction, therefore I wash my hand. I don't think that's right. I think you have to be responsible to that agreement 1963. Now, it took about scholarship and all this, and I mean, I can be very bitter about all this. I went to Australia on my own. I mean, in the sense, I mean, I came from one of the poorest, perhaps like any of the natives of Sarawak, yet that was not considered. I mean, this is an area where exploitation, the abuse of discretion had been very, very real for many of us in Sarawak. Now,